Hello. Happy Mother's Day. I have a reading that I'd like to start us with. It's from Jamie Sam's The 13 Original Clan Mothers. After the destruction by fire that ended the first world of love, the 13 original clan mothers were created as the healing aspects of Grandmother Moon and Mother Earth, representing all that is beautiful in woman. As parts of the original dream, the 13 original clan mothers came to walk the earth, forming the sisterhood that bound all women together as dreaming counterparts in order to manifest the original dream of wholeness on the physical plane. These seeds of inner peace were planted in the hearts of every human's female side. Today, this original dream of wholeness is being nurtured in the hearts of women worldwide and is being birthed through their shared visions as they open their dreams to the light of love and build those dreams in tangible form. During the making of this legacy of woman dream, the feelings that would need to be shared among women in order for the human tribe to heal were sealed in Mother Earth's tears. These tears were the medicine that would transform the pain created when the first world of love was destroyed by greed. The hearts of the human tribe had been wounded, and from those deep and jagged wounds, fear and separation were born. The two-legged children of Earth no longer trusted one another and feared that they had been abandoned by the great mystery and the Earth Mother. It was for this reason that the love and compassion of woman was born. I just felt like that was a really powerful reading about the origin of us as our feminine sides. So not just those of us who are mothers and not just women, but all of us as we get in touch with that part of us that's born of the space of love. And so with that, happy Mother's Day. Let's hold with deep gratitude all of spiritual mothers and physical mothers we've had, and we hold that soulfully as we think Lakshmi, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, White Tara, Mother Teresa, White Buffalo Calf Woman, all the 13 clan mothers, all the ancestors, our own teachers, my teacher, Dr. Goodall, my teacher, Dohan, Osho, to all the women that have given us birth, to all the women who raised us, to all the spirits in the tribes that have helped us, and to ourselves, to that part of us that gives us compassion, nurturing, unconditional love, to that part of ourselves. And we celebrate the feminine in all the men, in all the transgender, in every single soul and spirit, sentient being that walks the earth. And so we hold that deep gratitude in our hearts that they bring us these gifts, model for us, models what's to be, model what not to be, but teach us. So with that, I want to reflect a little bit on the gift of motherhood in my life, because in my prayerful space, I have always come to recognize that becoming a mother has been Great Spirit's most amazing gift to me in this human experience. The opportunity to raise a child, to affect a young mind, to rediscover life through the eyes of a young person. This has been one of my most amazing parts of my journey, and I feel so blessed to have had that experience. Being a mother to Avalon has been the one thing that has probably drawn me out to be my very best self. So even when I want to be that best self for me, our questions of worthiness can sometimes get in the way, but when your child needs you to be your best self, for me, that's when I've shined the brightest, whether it's to help her or to model something and teach her. And in the process, I learned so much. So just take a moment right now to really recognize what the gifts of mother are in your life. Whether you've had a wounded experience with who you consider mother, find somebody in your life who has given you the gift of nurturing, who has given the gift of compassion and unconditional love. Just bring that person, those persons, forth in your heart. Close your eyes for a minute. Just visualize them and surround them with your love and gratitude. That person may be you, in which case, surround yourself with that gratitude and love that you were able to transform a wounded experience into a place of self-love, self-compassion. And as you send love and gratitude to that person, hold them in your heart and send love and gratitude to yourself for all the parts of mother you embody, and come back. One of the factors that I see in other mothers that have more than one child is the fact that no two children are the same. They can't be parented the same. They can't be treated the same unless it's, not meeting their needs correctly. So if you really want to meet that child where they are, we typically can't parent every child the same way. And if we do, there's something that we're typically struggling with or failing at. So that ability to recognize an individual who's your child or who's somebody that you deeply care for, somebody that you're nurturing, somebody that you're trying to demonstrate unconditional love for. The ability to be adaptable and flexible and meet that individual where they are is vital in today's world. It's an aspect of parenting that is missing in society as a whole. And that is something that every single person on the face of this earth could use more of that acceptance and unconditional love. We tend to see the differences in each other, and then we want to judge them and separate ourselves from people that we don't like or don't agree with or can't accept or respect. And we separate ourselves from them, forgetting that we're all one. Mothers especially have been forced into this lesson of being able to meet their child where they're at and figure out what that individual needs in order to grow and flourish that might be different than the last child. If we could take that gift and bring that into society, whether it's to our neighbor next door or somebody in another country, the news stories we see on TV, all the crazy social media we read, we create these opinions about everything. And those opinions are driven by a lot of fear, by a lot of lack of understanding that comes from a place of needing control and power, needing to be the same as others, needing others to be the same as us. It's quite egocentric. And it's difficult to figure out how to navigate behind that veil of perception. So when we can get outside of that and sometimes relate to how mothers are with their children and recognize that the cultivating of those skills as a mother can be applied to other people, that's what brings the vision of the clan mothers forward. That's what brings the love. That's what brings the healing forward. And so as we really pay homage and respect and honor mothers today, I challenge you to think about what the nurturing, what the characteristics of mothering are that could help the world as a whole right now. We kind of go into this idea of what's the ultimate act. Well, unconditional love, is an ultimate act. Truly removing all conditions for compassion for a person, to remove expectations and judgments, stripping that away and allowing somebody to truly just in their own divine imperfection be lovable, be acceptable. In fact, be embraced and treasured. And we like the idea of doing that, but boy, it can really be hard to practice. And it doesn't matter what spiritual philosophy you have or what religion you come from. We have this golden rule, right, that kind of travels through all the different philosophies, whether we're looking at Christianity is the easy one. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Buddhism, we take the precepts and the bodhisattva vows, which reflect, in many instances, that same sentiment. The Native Americans, we respect all life. That is the foundation of Native American spirituality. All things are relatives. You treat all as one. And so again, that's this equality where we see each other and ourselves, and that unconditional love exchange is so important. The Hindus have something similar in the Mahabharata. Islam has reflections of this as well. None of you truly believes until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for himself. So that's even, a similar reflection, all a little different. I love from Judaism, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, from the Hebrew scriptures. That is very direct. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And part of yourself are your children. And sometimes we find that we can love our children even more than we think we're loving ourselves. Mothers especially, that feminine energy tends to love very, very deeply connected, very deeply connected. And so if we can take that level of love and just even get a glimmer of it that we can share with others, it transforms. It's transformational, this feminine energy that we talk about, that Jamie Sams talks about, that the clan mothers envisioned for us. So, criticism. Why? Having this golden rule doesn't really leave room for criticism. It doesn't leave room for tearing people down. It doesn't have to agree with anybody. It doesn't have to align with anything. It meets a person with differences from a place of love, not hate, not disrespect. It leaves room for not knowing. It leaves room for mystery. It leaves room for different experiences. It leaves room for more than one answer, which leaves room for ultimate freedom. And we get scared sometimes of that big amount of freedom. We get scared when people are different than us. We get scared when we don't understand. But this is the key. This is when we reinvest ourselves in the knowing that we are divine beings, in the knowing that other people are us, that we are all one, in the knowing and the faith that God has equal love for all of his creation and asks us to do the same. And so when we get nervous and shaky about somebody and we want to criticize and we want to judge, tap into that mother love, tap into that compassion, tap into that nurturing of the feminine, and see if you can't dig a little deeper and let that human experience of being a little one-sided, let it fade, let it go, let it be there, and still mindfully choose a different way to respond. Lead with love, lead with compassion. Seek the unconditional in that way, because that is such a huge gift. So being a mother, reflecting on motherhood, reflecting on the original gifts of the feminine, of healing. This is the energy that is so important right now. This is the energy we can invoke for Mother's Day. This is the space that we lift and hold up a higher vibration that has to do with the feminine healing power that we all truly have. Whew. Okay. So let's do a little work with that in meditation. Please close your eyes. Connect with your breath. And open your senses. What you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're tasting. Feel your butt in the chair. Feel your feet on the ground, connecting down through Mother Earth. Opening your crown chakra, inviting in the wisdom of the ancestors, inviting in the wisdom keepers, known as the clan mothers, inviting in the grandmothers with all of their divine compassion and love for us. We invoke them to revive the woman's medicine for healing. We invoke them to empower this so deeply and so powerfully that it can balance the warrior way of the male spirit that has been creating too much chaos out of balance lately. The medicine of the feminine principles. Be awakened, be opened, and rise in each of us. Opening our hearts to ourselves, to each other. Kind of the easy part. And opening that spirit now to everyone you don't agree with, to everyone you don't understand, to all the children that have different ways and different needs that we need to meet and see them from a higher vibration on their terms, see what they need, and meet them with the love and compassion and nurturing that every soul is yearning for right now. Tap into that space and know that you have this inside of you. Recognize that this is being called forth right now, that this is your power to choose, and that you have all the support of the wisdom keepers with you. Breathe that in. Visualize people in front of you. Visualize a person of every color, a person of every religion, a person of every ability, a person of every orientation and gender, a person of every political stance. See them in front of you and recognize that we are all one. Send all of them your unconditional love. And be at ease knowing that we don't have to be the same in order to heal. Now I want you to let that energy wash through you and receive it as well. Know that you are worthy of receiving all of the unconditional love that the world has to offer you. That every divine being can see you as a unique aspect of God. That you stand in your light. That you don't shrink back. That you don't need to react, but you can breathe and respond from this higher place. Receive that. Come back into the room slowly, recognizing that this is a most sacred and beautiful day to awaken this in us and to allow our efforts to awaken it in all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Love to you all. Blessings. Aho.